everyone, Julian here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to create selected style Future House MIDI files. I've gotten a ton of questions about this, and Selected, they upload some great music. I really like the style of music, so I want to make a video in the style. And just to let you know, to go along with this video, I've dropped a MIDI pack on my Bandcamp. It's just $5, and it's got a few selected style MIDI files in there, so if you want to just get some quick inspiration or something to work with or something to sort of look at and reverse engineer to figure out how to do this on your own, then that's a great way to do it, and I recommend checking it out. Again, it's just the first link in the description. Anyway, here's the video. So like I said, I've gotten a lot of requests about this one from my other selected style tutorials, and I definitely wanted to make a video on it because it's not as difficult as it seems. So I have this thing in front of me here. You heard it in the intro. Pretty simple, and I'm going to be showing you this little marimba sound. I'm going to be showing you how I made these chords. So what you want to do when you're making these kind of drops is I always try to approach it as like kind of like different levels. So because these drops are so chord based and so like bouncy like this, what I usually do is I'll write in like the bass line. So in this case, I started with like this, for example. Very simple, you know, really nothing too crazy there. You just got to find a few cool notes and play them as a bass line. And that sort of is like the first level. So again, because this is about stacking multiple notes together and just making it super rhythmic and bouncy, once you start with that first level, it gets you a lot closer because then you can go to the second level, which is the fifth. So the fifth, if you don't know, is always just 7 notes up from the root note of your chord. It's the 5th degree of the scale, all that kind of stuff. And what I will typically do is I will just draw that in right away because, I mean, it's very easy. All you have to do is just double your root notes up 7 semitones up, and then so you get that. And once you have that, again, it's really not that hard because you have these root notes, you have your 5th. Now all you have to do if you want to make some basic chords out of this is just add your thirds. And to add the thirds, it's very simple. You just have to see which one would be like a major or minor chord, basically, in each of these chord progressions relative to the key you're in. So, like, in this case, we're in F major. So if I was going to make this first chord, I would put in A because that would be the major third of F, and it would fit in the key of F major. So now, there we go. We have our first chord. And again, all you have to do is just keep doing this as you go down. So, like, this next one is probably going to be a minor third. Yep. And there we go. We have our second chord. So, again, it's just about doing it as sort of like levels. So, once you have that level sort of finished, I would say, then all you have to do is, you know, maybe like every now and then I'll throw in some of these extra little notes. These little like sort of bouncy notes that just sort of help jump between each of these chords and help give it a little bit more flavor on top. But again, it's really just about getting those root notes because once you get those going, you saw how easy it was once I broke it down and how quickly you really could do this. I'm not saying it's easy to make this style of music by any means, but I'm saying that this particular aspect of it is a bit easier than most people probably give it the kind of credit for. Now, like, another thing, too, is that a lot of times you won't just have your, like, one sound playing the full chords. Like, sometimes what you'll do is you'll have, like, a bass playing these notes, and then, like, something like, maybe like this marimba sound or some kind of lead playing these thirds, and then these little extra notes as well. And that's pretty simple. I mean, again, what I usually do when I'm trying to write those kind of parts is I will just write them all on, like, a piano, or write it on like a marimba sound, like something like this that you can just sort of quickly play with. And then once I get it written, then I transfer it over to the bass and then the lead and just cut out the lead notes on the bass and the bass notes on the lead and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, again, it's like really simple. I know this was very quick, but once you break it down this way where you just sort of have to go through it step by step and it's more like calculated that way, it becomes a lot easier and it becomes not necessarily formulaic because you can do a lot of different kind of chord progressions and there's a million different root notes you could use and how you could play them all off of each other and all that kind of stuff. But with this particular method, again, you're just sort of like following a bit of a blueprint. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. Again, you can get that MIDI pack I was talking about in the description for just $5 on my Bandcamp. If you want to support me, it's a great way to do it. It really helps, and there's some cool stuff in there that I think you guys will like. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments, and make sure to like this video and subscribe, and maybe even share the video if it helps you out. And I will see you guys again tomorrow with another tutorial.